see Navia and Clorand over there? They look like they might have run into some kind of trouble. Let's go check out what's going on!
Still no dice?
Not at all. And I've asked pretty much everyone in the Court of Fontaine already. Lynette's ears drooped as soon as she heard that we'd have to be out and about for days on end. And Fremine, he hid himself under his helmet as soon as he realized there'd be...
What about Chiori and Charlotte?
I've asked them already, but they're both pretty busy right now.
This is getting...
Navia, Clorand, what's up?
Oh my. Well, if it isn't my dear...
Huh.
Huh?
Yep, this is our chance.
Do you need our help with something?
Oh, precisely. My dear part...
Whoa, for real?
Absolutely. We've already exhausted all our other...
Traveler, Paimon. Would you join us and play Marechaussee Hunter Judgment Day?
Marechaussee what now?
It's a new game script by the Tabletop Troupe, a local roleplay adventure club.
Ever heard of the Tabletop Troupe? They put out games that allow you to participate in a story and roleplay characters.
That sounds super
Clorand and I are both veteran members of the club. And when they asked, of course I couldn't refuse.
Generally speaking, scripts at that level of development have a lot of issues.
Whoa. I know I was the one...
Anyway, the script calls for a team of 4.
So, you're saying you'll help us out?
Paimon and the Traveler are kind of...
That's not a problem. I'll adjust the pace based on the actual number of players, and ensure that...
Well, Traveler, what do you think?
Well, that solves our problem.
Woohoo! I'll go grab the script manager from the club right away.
The script manager? Didn't you just say that you gave Clorand...
The club introduced a completely new kind of gameplay for this script. In this iteration, the Game Master's version of the script is incomplete. On top of that, in order to increase player immersion, the club has created some of the story's sets and scenes in real life. We'll only know where we should go once the script manager reveals the starting location.
Wow, you're right! Whoever wrote this script really did put in a lot of work.
And it's got a real healthy amount of suspense, right? I mean, even the GM doesn't know how the story will end.
I look forward to experiencing it with you all.
Why don't you go meet up with the others first? They should all be waiting at Chioria Boutique. I'll come over with the script manager as soon as I find them.
Sounds good. Remember to always watch where you're going, and don't rush.
You say that like I'm 6 years old or something. Let me think. What kind of character should I play this time?
I just hope you'll pick up some useful skills this time. Oh, and stop trying to persuade every animal you come across. Sorry to...
You're back! Huh? And you've got the...
What a pleasant surprise.
Linny, Farina! Paimon didn't know you were playing too.
I'm more of a casual member if anything. I haven't taken part in many formal club activities. Still, I'm sure it'll be fun being a player for the...
Well, I'm not a member of the club at all. Clorand simply woke me up first thing this morning.
If you're interested, I can give you a referral. That should give you...
I think I'll wait to see how this experience plays out first, especially when it comes to the quality of the script. If it's sufficiently fun, then I'll join.
Do you participate in a lot of tabletop troupe activities, Clorand?
You could say that. She's actually one of the few senior game masters of the troupe.
Right. I knew about that even when she was still my subordinate.
It's nothing. Really, just a small hobby of mine.
be all upstanding and intimidating as the champion duelist. It's kinda hard to imagine you role-playing with a bunch of friends.
Surely you jest. I would never intentionally make things difficult for my players. I maintain a clear boundary between my professional and personal lives. The me you see at court represents the law and order of Fontaine. I put all personal feelings to the side and grant a fair... But in my personal life, I'm just an ordinary person.
Well, you say that, but for all the time I've known you, I don't think I've ever seen you cry. I've seen you get angry.
I was probably in work mode during those times.
Is that so? Well, in any case, I just feel like even in your personal...
So you want to see me cry? That might be a little
No, that's not what I meant. I'm back! Here, allow me to introduce...
Pleasure to meet you all.
Wait, are you a champion duelist?
Oh, no. This is just the costume provided by the club.
That sounds like a lot of...
It's nothing. It's the least we can do to give the players a more... Anyway, allow me to give you a brief intro... This script was adapted from the real history of the Marushose Hunters. You all will play the role of hunters from a bygone era and resolve a series of events unfolding in the capital.
Paimon's not super familiar with the
Oh, no problem at all. I can give you a brief rundown. So, basically, Marushose Hunters were... Their story can be traced back to the ancient Remurian but I'll leave...
And I'll provide additional commentary.
In that case... Brave...
Whoa, just one sentence and it's like we're in the story of...
Aha! I see many a determined gaze before me. Very well. Head over to this location and be...
So, as we follow the story, it leads us to specific scenes? Ooh!
It's the exact location of the scene, as well as the formal Please check all your belongings, everyone, and make sure you haven't forgotten anything.
Sounds good. Hunters...
They really have thought of everything. Even the Fatometer is here.
The Fatometer.
It's a card that's used to determine action success or failure.
And what about all the dessert and tea? Is that...
That's what the message said.
Oh, really? That's so nice.
Those snacks have Paimon's name written.
I think you might be...
Snack Hunter Paimon reported for duty. If there are delicious snacks to be found, Paimon will track down every...
The desserts are great.
Very... First, please pick up the blank character. You can find an abbreviated version of the rules printed on the back of your character card. In this story, everyone is a Marushose hunter. To reflect this,
Ooh, nice.
as hunters, you have proficiency in swordsmanship and fighting by default. so there's no need to allocate any additional skill points to those areas.
Swordsmanship? So there's a fighting part to all of this? Paimon?
Why don't you share a character card then? The Traveler.
Huh. Kind of.
So, for the name.
Yep. It can be any.
You can use your real name too if you want. I do that.
Oh, so it would be like experiencing a different life.
In that case, I think
Next up is the skill sheet. You have a limited amount of skill points that you can use to learn a number of skills. The more.
I'll take.
Oh, those skills sound like they'd be useful for gathering intelligence. Good idea, Navia. Just as expected of a veteran player.
So, should we also take those skills that.
not necessarily. Since we're working together as a team, we could leave the negotiations to. For example, I think I'll take stealth and sleight of hand.
Oh, interesting. I wasn't thinking about it like that. Let me see. I'll take arts and.
Well, that leaves us. What do you want to learn, Traveler? Ha! Gotta say, this suits you really well. Nothing boosts morale like good food. Oh, something that'll help you get a So what do you think? Are you sure you want to learn these two skills?
Let's see.
You've all picked such classic skills.
Why do I get the feeling she's getting ready to cause trouble?
For example, this one here.
Oh, I saw that one just now as well. The description says this.
The script's world-building rules, huh?
Oh, that's not for us to worry about, my friend. Just look.
All right, you've convinced Paimon. Let's learn 7 then. Paimon.
Well, now that everyone's more or less finished creating their character. Since 2 of our players are doing this for the first time, though, would you like to play on easy? Well, in role-playing games, the story sometimes. For example, if you fail a check, that means you cannot use the target skill in that scenario. If you choose to play in authentic mode, every time you elect to use a skill, you'll. If you choose easy mode instead, every.
Given that I'd like to focus on the story.
Huh? Oh, come on. Don't worry about never knowing what you might have.
I.
All right, then I'll mark down Farina for easy mode.
What about you, dear partner? How would you like to play?
Are you sure?
Trust me. Honestly, I don't think Clorand would make things too difficult for us.
No?
Well, anyway, enough talk.
Speaking of the story.
Well, that's a long time ago. Back when human civilization was still in its infancy. Soon, a group of human rebels banded together. With their swords raised, they swore to brave the darkness, and in doing so, subdue each and every monster that sought their destruction. They became known as the Marashosei Hunters. Sometime later, as a member of the Marashosei Hunters, you receive a commission. Following the address provided on the message, you take a boat and arrive at this strange city. As you inhale, you can taste the slightly salty air of the docks as you begin to survey your surroundings. There aren't many people in the vicinity, but your eyes meet, and you realize these people are fellow Marashosei hunters, like.
You're all Marashosei hunters too, right? Allow me to introduce myself. The name's Navia, monster hunter by trade and helpful neighborhood What say you to traveling together? We can help each other out on the road.
Okay, count me in. My name is Linny. I've been wandering since I was little and picked up a few less than legal tricks along the way.
Is this where you introduce your character to everyone? It sounds like they've done this dozens. My name is Farina.
Hey, you can do it, Farina. That's exactly how it's done.
Paimon is Paimon, a good friend and...
I've been studying the culinary arts since I was a child.
That's wonderful. I'll be looking for.
Well, if we're all here for the same commission, why don't we take some time to confirm what we need to do?
You open your envelopes at the same time. The message reads, "To the honorable and trustworthy Marashose hunters, our kingdom is currently facing a grave crisis. The lands outside the capital have been overtaken by monsters.
Huh. The layout of this...
The scriptwriter must have used a...
As experienced hunters, the layout of the city reminds you of... Yet, as you regard the city in front of you,
I carefully read every line of the letter and turn my attention to the signatures at the bottom. Who issued this commission to us?
you see a long string of unfamiliar names. It would seem that...
In that case... Oh, good idea. We might be able to...
You look up and see a tavern nearby. It appears to be open for the day.
Why don't we go check out that tavern? If the novels I've read are anything to go by...
As you approach the tavern, you find a plainly dressed woman standing nearby. She appears to be rather troubled about something.
Greetings, friend. Lovely.
Oh, hello. I suppose you're right.
It seems like every character included in the script has a certain amount of useful information.
Oh, come now. Don't be sad. Life is all...
Huh?
I don't think that...
Nothing turns a frown upside down like good food. How about some macarons? I could...
You didn't even take cooking as one of your skills.
That's not necessary, miss. Excuse me.
So you're someone who barely smiles? Hey! Did she just...
Clorian must have broke character.
This isn't getting us anywhere. Traveler?
The results of insight checks aren't disclosed to the players, so... You recall all the lessons you've learned in your time, and you notice that when she's quiet, she has an empty look in her eyes, as if her thoughts have drifted to a place far, far away. So you noticed. That's a little embarrassing. A horde of monsters suddenly appeared near the capital recently, so all the guards were dispatched to fight them.
Do you remember when those monsters appeared?
I'm not completely sure. All I know is that my husband was dispatched to fight them 3 days ago.
Do you know where he was sent?
It all happened so fast.
You have our thanks, friend. We'll find and defeat...
Thank you.
Don't worry. We'll find him. We don't always get to choose what happens to us. But we do get to choose the little things, like what we eat and how we respond.
I'll do my best. You bid farewell to the woman, and continue your journey further into the city. As you venture further into the city, the streets appear largely empty. An elderly woman walks past. You see her shake her head as she puts away her wrinkled wallet. A nearby merchant folds his arms and gives you a disdainful look. You get the impression that he's someone who has long gotten used to the sight before him.
Although he doesn't seem very... friendly, merchants are...
Pardon me, sir.
That depends.
How about...
What do you take me for? Some lowly beggar?
Surely an onion can't.
What do you know? War's nearly upon us.
Whoa, what a nasty guy.
But he still might have information we need. Traveler, can you think of something? Sir, we can't... If you happen to be well informed and know a thing or two about what's going on, we'd appreciate it if...
Those monsters are camped outside the city, and they've been... We have limited reserves within the city, so if this...
Wait, you're saying no one has put a.
We could all starve, and who knows? Maybe they...
That is
All right. That's all the information you need.
You know, if you smiled a little more, you'd definitely get...
Should we try to go somewhere with more people?
Oh, how about the city square? Follow me.
Before you lies the city's central square. You see a man with a slightly anxious look on his face, pacing back and forth, his head hanging low. He doesn't seem to notice your approach, still immersed in his own...
This guy seems promising enough. Maybe I can get some. Hello, sir. Is there anything I can do to help you?
Wait. Oh, dear goodness!
You recognize us?
Yes! Oh, I didn't expect you to...
What happened here?
Alas, we once lived comfortable, carefree lives. However, monsters have once again...
Are there not...
It's not a question of numbers. Most people my age have never even seen one of the monsters, much less been trained to fight against them. When I was a child, though, my grandfather would tell me stories about how the Marashose hunters... To be perfectly honest, I was starting to think all those stories...
Well, you can rest easy, friend.
The man is touched by your determination and resolve. His eyes begin to...
Still, if we are going to hunt the monsters, we need to...
all I know is that the area outside the city is dangerous. I'm afraid... although, if you leave the capital through the main gate and...
I see. We'll go look for them.
All right, be careful. Oh, and one last thing. They're actively working with the monsters. Even one of our kindest ministers has turned into a...
Talk about being stuck between a...
I feel bad for him.
Hey!
I appreciate your kindness, brave hunters.
If I understood correctly, there are currently two.
Exactly. We need to defeat the monsters outside.
But, well, this seems like a good moment.
I really didn't expect the people in the city to keep us at arm's length like that.
Well, Clarence said the script took cues from the real history of Fontaine, right?
I wouldn't say it's a perfect representation of history.
Sure. As long as it doesn't spoil anything in the script. You brought up.
Paimon wants to know too. The hunters were super powerful, right? Were they all from...
No. All Marashose hunters were ordinary mortal fighters.
Huh? So you mean...
In theory, yes. All you would need to do is Still, most people dropped out at the early stages. And others called it quits the minute they saw
What kind of monsters did the hunters fight exactly? Oh, and...
The land of Fontaine once played host to an ancient dynasty known as Remuria. One of the ancient sorcerers of Remuria used his power to assemble a
Now, wait a second. Don't tell me that guy was the inspiration for the evils.
Well, I wasn't planning on going into anything you might be able to find out in the game. But
Wait, but those people are all from a...
from my master.
Huh. Absolutely. Miss Petronia and my...
Let's not get off topic. Responding to Egeria's call, a number of warriors followed Cassiodor into battle against the monsters. Yet, as Fontaine entered an era of peace, their work gradually became obsolete.
Ah, I see. That...
Is that really a bad thing, though? It can't...
Depends on who you ask, I suppose.
Speaking of investigations,
I vote monsters. That's the main duty.
Well said, Miss Farina. Plus, if the sorcerers really are the
what about you, partner? What? It's this...
All right. After some discussion,
Let's take a look around, like that guy said.
You there! Outsiders, halt!
Who's there?
An armored man approaches you. He has a tall, muscular build, and although he's trying his best to conceal his current state. I'm the captain of the guard. I saw you sneaking around the... State your purpose, or it's off to the dungeons for the lot of you.
Wow, it's been a while since someone...
I said talk, not whisper. Marashose hunters? Ha! That fairy tale you... While everyone is talking, you begin to carefully observe the captain's mannerisms. Every so often, you see him glance toward a particular direction. As you follow his gaze, you vaguely recall that
Is that where the monsters are? Outside?
The captain is taken aback by your sudden question. Still, you're looking to...
Well, we're Marashose Hunt...
He shakes his head, and those monsters aren't easy to deal with. I just hope all the guards will be able...
Based on what the captain said, the monster should be right up ahead. Let's go. Hopefully we're not too late.
As you approach the battlefield, you see numerous people lying by the side of the road. They appear to be dressed like guards. Their faces are filled with desperation and terror. Some are screaming and cursing in vain, as if still trying to banish the monstrosities they saw from their minds. A few of the wounded look up at you in shock and disbelief. Quick, leave this place. Turn around and don't look back, they yell.
place he mentioned, right?
You see broken iron swords scattered. All the signs point to one thing.
Be on your guard, everyone. The monsters might still be around.
Before you can finish your sentence, you hear rustling sounds from the surrounding bushes. The monsters have emerged. They close in on you without fear.
A little help here!
Your battle round
Strike a pose! Watch out! Hey there!
The next battle round begins now.
Hey there! Proper send-off from the Stina with love.
Go!
Step right up.
The monsters let out a terrifying roar of anger and resentment before dissipating into thin air.
Oh, thank goodness it's over.
We're lucky the Marashose Hunter class came with all those preset skill points. Otherwise,
I never knew the photometer even determines the amount of...
That's part of the fun.
Just as you begin to celebrate your victory, a suspicious lump on the ground catches your attention.
A suspicious... What?
I walk up to it, crouch down, and begin to carefully examine it. I've still got my right glove on, so it should be fine from...
As you investigate the mound, you discover that with the monsters gone, the small protrusion now awaits.
Ooh, it's a treasure chest!
With everyone's help, you successfully excavate the wooden chest even without opening it. You can tell from the mora and jewels scattered around the chest that it must contain quite the fortune.
Makes sense. We worked hard for this. Let's open it and we can share what's inside.
I can understand your excitement, Paimon, but think about it.
Yeah. Think about all the people suffering in the capital. Or all those guards who got hurt fighting the
Wait, is that how it works? Paimon thought since we were the ones to dig it up, we could just take it for ourselves.
Well, let's put it this way. Any decision you make during a role-playing game can impact the future course of the story.
But would the people really believe us? It's hard enough for us to prove we're Marshose hunters. What if...
That's definitely something we should consider. Maybe we can
Well, if donating it could cause that much trouble...
Looks like you're facing a difficult well, it's
Wow!
I'm not sure if it's because I'm having so much fun with you all or because the story is particularly enticing, but I feel like I could almost keep going.
Here, here! Ooh, how about we play through the night?
Yeah, that won't work for me either. Lynette will get...
I understand how you feel, Navia, but we have to change venues for the...
Huh? Another location?
Mm-hmm. There's a special note for the GM at the end of this section that says to proceed to an indoor set for the next part of the script.
Whoa!
Well, even if we end the game for the day, we can still...
Something tells me you just want to finish the free desserts before...
That's just a coincidence, okay? Besides, to Paimon not finishing free food feels even worse than having to buy her own. And anyway, Paimon
Well...
It's nothing. I appreciate the concern, but it's all in the past. It won't do any harm to share these things now. My earliest memories are of living with Master. According to her, she saved me from...
What a heavy...
Master was a fascinating individual. My first ever toy was a short sword. Although I suppose it wasn't so much a toy as something
Oh, wait, so she handed an act...
Of course I did. I cut my palm and bled quite a lot. But see, that's what you get for not holding the sword properly, she told me. She then...
Excuse me for asking this.
Probably a
3? Isn't that when most...
As I said, Master was rather inexperienced in the ways of raising children. She believed trial and error was the best.
I'm not so sure this is a question of experience.
I didn't see anything wrong with her ways at the time. And anyway, children don't get to choose how they're raised. Oh!
A Geovishap hatchling? For a pet? That's
What she said was this. Make sure to get along, you two. If you really can't agree on something, just settle it with a fight. Whoever loses is the real pet.
And how old were you when this happened?
5.
Well, did you...
No, I lost.
So, you're saying...
Yes, but only for a week. By the end of that week...
That really doesn't sound like the kind...
Later on, I gradually understood that Master most likely didn't know any other way to raise... Thanks to her, I learned how to navigate the forest by the age of 6. Even though the training she subjected me to was strict, she always made sure to take me traveling when she had the time. We met many of her friends to...
I still remember the first time we met.
I still
After that, though, you started coming over a lot. You loved...
I had a lot of fun during the...
I enjoyed them too. Oh, do you remember that one? We tried to pretend like we never heard anything, but you near...
Protector of justice. Oh, wait, you mean that...
Yep, that would be her. She often would put on a black cloak and go out at night. I never knew where she went.
20 years ago, huh? I still remember...
My...
Oh, there's no need to apologize. Although, calling herself the Protector of Order was a bit much.
Huh? When did the Protector of Justice become the Protector of Order?
Oh, she had a bunch of code names. I heard she would just come up with a name on the spot whenever she was asked. Later on, she probably got sick of answering those questions and decided to stick to just 2. The Protector of Justice and...
That sounds like her, all right. I bet she
Well, she certainly sounds like a fascinating...
It's true. I always wanted to become like her. Someone powerful, independent, and with a strong sense of conviction.
But...
She suddenly disappeared the night I...
Disappeared? What happened?
I have no idea. That night, I was celebrating my birthday at Navia's house. But Master never came to pick me up. When she still didn't appear after a few days, I went to Mr. Callus's house.
Papa probably didn't know either. I know he sent a few people to...
Don't worry, I understand. Just like how, when a litter of kittens reaches a certain...
Or...
I was at first, but not anymore.
Well, despite everything, you still managed to follow in her footsteps and become the greatest...
I suspect my position would be far too by the books for her. Master always did what...
Who knew Clorand had such an interesting past? I wonder... If Clorand's master were the champion duelist back then... Would that duel against... Oh no... Judging by the atmosphere, Clorand and Navia are probably thinking something similar. The mood just got super awkward all of a sudden.
Well, anyway.
I had a great time today, Miss Clorand.
Anytime.
The script was good, but I've got to say, hey, you should tell us more about that fight against the Geobishops up...
What does she mean, on to something? I guess I'll head back as well.
You're that excited to hear about...
I was talking about... that gliding be faster?
Looks like everyone's here. Now, before we begin,
Is that really the most important part, though, Clarant? Have you all cold railings?
I admire the work put into the set. Still, it's obvious the script.
So the set is going to be a part of the script?
Unfortunately, that is something I can neither
Anyone think Clarant's smile is starting to look kinda scary?
Well, whatever happens, we'll just have to push on. But if we're worried about arousing suspicion because of our identity, why don't we give ourselves a different...
Yeah, it might be better to keep a low profile.
Staring at me won't get you anywhere.
Why aren't you saying anything now?
Oh, this is the short sword Cloran mentioned last night.
Huh. I'm surprised you
Well, I made sure to take good care of it. Considering... Anyway, where were we? Oh, right. I was just thinking...
Wait, we haven't been thrown into...
Well, it's only a matter of time. It pays to be prepared.
Alright, Paimon's made up her mind. Paimon may have wanted to keep it, but if it's going to land us in prison somehow, Paimon will be too upset to enjoy her snacks.
So, you reached an agreement?
Oh, and we'll collect all the scattered pieces of treasure on the ground as well.
All right. You collect the treasure and make your way back to the cap. The city is still shrouded in a gloomy, oppressive atmosphere, but your spirits are surprisingly high. In places where sunlight struggles to reach, you generously share your "Thank you, kind soul." The elderly woman's look of gratitude follows you as you walk away, her eyes never leaving your back until you move entirely out of sight. However, there's still quite a bit of Mora remaining. It appears you haven't made much progress.
She's probably trying to tell us to speed this up. We need to hurry up so we can address the sorcerer problem.
Should we go find that man again at the square? He seemed like a pretty responsible guy. I'm sure he knows the people here far better.
Oh, good idea.
Just as you start to make way to the square, intent on finding the man again, there's a voice. Please wait, distinguished guests. Several strange guards suddenly call out to you. They run forward to meet you and proceed to politely pay their respects.
Greetings, gentlemen.
Surely you jest, my lady. That would not be our place. It is his
Well, we have to investigate the court at some point, right? Meeting the king himself would be a...
I say we go for it. If something...
After a quick discussion, you nod to the guards and agree to follow. Gilded tables line both sides of the hall. The space itself is the elderly king, clad in a magnificent... He wears above his head a majestic crown, with a gemstone the size of a bird's egg set right at the very front. As you observe it, you see a complex pattern of light reflect... A man dressed in dark clothes, likely a minister, shields his mouth with his hands and bends down to whisper a few words to the king. After a moment, he lowers his hands and stands back up. His gaze shifts to fixate on your group.
The king does not appear entirely aware of his surroundings.
The king remains still. Esteemed guests, allow me to thank you for coming to our faraway kingdom. I've heard tell that your group, the Marshose Hunters... However, seeing that I was not fortunate enough to observe such...
Well, we've got nothing to hide. The golem's blades were so powerful, they could cut down trees. Well, that was enough
Your account does indeed match those of the survivors.
Well, we did.
How did he know about the
Ah, then I must ask that you...
Wait, but didn't you just say that our great deed...
Yet only that which is freely given by the king can be considered a reward.
But that's
Yeah, that makes no sense!
Maybe so, yet the fact remains. You tried to What? No answer? Surely you're not
Well,
Clad in his magnificent robe, the king remains seated, with his hands resting on either side of the throne.
From the look of things, could the
I would like to observe the number.
The guards in the palace appear fully armed, their expressions solemn.
So there goes my plan to turn the whole place upside.
It appears we've been visited by nothing more than a group. Before I decide your fate, however, I must first determine whether you have...
can't we try to slip away? Or maybe...
But if we try to fight the guards right now...
Don't worry. At least we figured out who's behind all this. Let's just play it by ear.
Aw, thanks, you guys.
You allow yourself to be It's only when you begin to feel drops of water falling from the dungeon ceiling. Stay here, and the guards lock the cell door.
Wait, sir!
Your voice echoes through the dark hall.
No!
Carve out a new path of fate with our.
You reach toward your waist, but find nothing there. You now recall that your weapons were confiscated before the...
What about that knife I hid?
When did you...
When I was thinking about digging a tunnel.
Rejected. You failed to inform the GM of this course of action. Moreover...
And the keys to the cell aren't anywhere to be seen.
Correct. You don't even feel a lock hole on the cell door.
Well...
Indeed.
Huh? Why are you the one saying indeed?
Because that statement holds true for me as well.
What? But that's a terrible...
Generally speaking, this should be the...
I mean, maybe they just really wanted us to be immersed in the feeling of.
That is a...
If only there were desserts and tea in real prison. Oh, wait, guess it's kind of...
Oh, before I forget, I took a closer look, and the craftsmanship doesn't appear...
Wait, Cloran said that sword used to belong to her master, right?
I doubt it. The way she went about things often made her seem childish more than...
Hang on. A precious.
Master left many things to me when she disappeared. There was the sword, an old key. I gave you the sword back then, because...
Wait, when did this happen?
After the duel.
Before that, Clorand would have meals with us and even stay over at the. After the duel, though, there was a period of time where we were both sad. And whenever I looked at this sword, I couldn't help but wonder. If missed back then, it felt like I...
No one can change the past.
Yep.
I'm sorry, you two.
Think nothing.
Looks like the next part of our script.
Perfect timing.
From Claren's face, Paimon really can't tell if it's good news or bad news.
Water continues to drip from the ceiling. In this lightless dungeon, eventually, you get used to the unpleasant odor of suddenly.
Heads up, everyone.
Gather close, everyone, and keep your voice.
Who are you?
I work as a guard in these dungeons, but my true... Shh! I've already sent away the other guards.
I understand, but...
The king has issued a formal decree. In light of the irrefutable proof of your crime...
Executed?
Monsters appearing at the same location as the treasure.
There will be time for speculation once we're out of here. As for my identity, infiltrating the capital was difficult, and finding a chance to speak with you has taken a lot out of me.
Have you seen our weapons anywhere, sir?
Don't worry, I brought them with me. They're just behind the door. Still, his faction is too powerful. The guards are all under... To defeat him, you must find a secret vault. It is said that within that vault...
You're not coming with...
No, I'll remain in the dungeons to deal with the guards. As long as my identity is not revealed, I'll be able...
In that case, please stay.
Thank you for your concern. I will do... As for the location of the vault...
Got it.
All right, once I open the door, remember to stick close and You now have the chance to restore the honor and legacy of the... And...
With the help of the guard, you...
Wait, we didn't get to use our skills at all while we were in prison. Who knows when we're gonna get the chance to use that cool summon spell?
That is a pity, but we can only continue to move forward.
Wouldn't gliding be faster?
This should be the place.
This bit of rock
Well, I'd say an investigation's in.
Wow.
Before you lies a serene stretch of open...
Well, guess it...
What's the matter?
As you step into the cave...
Wow, this was...
But this door is blocking our way in.
Huh. What have we got down here?
A pattern on a stone door.
Is something wrong?
After a long, difficult journey, you finally arrive at the location. Your surroundings are exceedingly quiet, and...
that description makes Pine...
We're doing this for the sake of the people, to free them from the evil sorcerer. I say it's...
Linny's right. We need to keep going. The next part of the story requires us to...
Yes. Something feels off about...
Wouldn't gliding be faster?
I found something!
Found something here, too.
Same here.
Something just appeared.
By solving the puzzles, you prove yourself at the end of each
With?
a key.
Oh, it must be the key to the big door.
Huh? This is one of the Marachose Hunter keys. It is said that 4 keys in total are required.
Huh?
You hear a few strange noises.
Huh? What's going on? Did we fall?
For the sake of
But Paimon can still see a little bit over here. Oh, right. Sorry.
Suddenly, you
There's someone else here?
I've been.
Wait,
recognize the voice as belonging to the guard who led you to this place. It appears he now
Oh, so this is just part of the script. Well, if we can't see anything, that...
Judging by the way he's holding his sword, he must be.
Retreat! That's not the hunt.
Your choice is noted. Please keep your eyes closed.
You got it!
Well then. Ready.
I'd like to try to hit him with my sword.
Your strike is successful.
Ha! You're facing a veteran Marachose Hunter. You don't stand it.
Is he still standing? Goodness, he sure has a lot of HP.
is it over?
The enemy is strong and relentless.
What about...
Final strike. Ha!
Well,
Warm fire flickers across the walls once more. Your vision is now clear. In an impressive display of courage, that look in his eyes. It's like he became...
huh? Oh, wait. We're supposed to be role-playing. Speak your name, guard. Why is this treasure really...
What? I, Florian, am a
So he's also using his real name.
Then I'm even more confused. If you truly are a Marachose Hunter...
What do you know? In this day and age,
What's that supposed to mean?
my skills were passed down to me by my father. We lived a life of obscurity in the remote wilderness. Still, he devoted everything he had to being a Marachose hunter. And what did he get in return? A life of poverty and pain. In a world that forgot all about him. When he died, not a single person came to mourn him. The Marachose hunters were the ones who saved this city.
Is he talking about how no one in the capital seems to remember the hunters and their life?
So that's why you want to take the treasure for yourself?
If you already knew where the treasure was located...
Because I...
Only a true Marachose hunter, as someone who sought to hurt others for his own gain.
Okay, but what is this?
You're sure you want to go?
We've been talking about it for so long, of course.
And we've already defeated Florian, right?
What?
Then let's open the door together.
All right. Before you, the door to the treasure, you hear the shrill wail of the door hinge as it rotates for the first time after a year.
It's open! Come on, let's go in! Paimon wants to see what's inside!
Ooh, me too!
Ugh, uncovering hidden treasure is...
A stone tablet?
You call this a treasure vault?
Maybe the troop...
They provided a super immersive experience at the beginning.
Wait, I get it now.
This is it? The Marachose hunter...
Whoa, are you...
The Marachose hunter before you appears to suffer a serious mental breakdown. One of you seems to understand the significance of the treasure already. So, how are you doing? Feeling any better?
I...
Do you remember how you got here?
I remember now. I brought you here because I wanted to...
You mean these?
Huh?
I could tell something was off the moment I stepped into this cave, so I kept an eye out.
So the strongest champion duelist in all of Fontaine saved the day once again.
I deserve some answers, don't you think? Everything you said earlier sounded like the truth. Luckily, your monologue was dramatic enough.
I don't know. I just always felt like there was something in my heart that didn't belong. The feelings about my father and the other Marchose hunters are real. It just wasn't fair. I was angry. I don't know when it started, but at some point, my anger came to complete...
But if the treasure was all you cared about, why plant all those explosives?
I can't remember.
From your description, I suspect you were...
Devorator?
Oh, your master... your father, I mean. Never talked...
No, I've heard of it. I'm just not sure Wait, it can't...
The seal?
My family has served as Marchose hunters for many generations. My father instructed me to always watch over that seal and maintain it regularly, but I neglected that duty after he died.
The Devorator would be a formidable adversary for any mortal. If you lacked the power to completely destroy it, you could easily fall prey to its influence and corruption.
I heard it has the power to amplify the obsessions and desires in people's hearts.
And yet, you were able to retrieve 3 of the 4 keys. If I remember...
One of them belonged to my father. The second I stole from a different hunter. And the... I know just how strong you are. It's as clear as day to everyone in Fontaine. I observed you from dusk to dawn, but could never find any opportunity to sneak up on... The only way I could think to obtain that last key was to lure you here using your hobby, and then...
I won't comment...
Well, I did pour my heart and soul into it. The stories my father used to tell me about the glory of the heroic Marchose hunters.
It's more than just a story.
Huh?
You're proud to be a hunter. You're still holding onto that...
I have done so many
Then explain the purpose of the evil sorcerer in your story. Isn't he the true antagonist? The one who sought nothing but his own gain.
But I've already tainted my...
Wake up, Florian. Do you really think the hunters acted out of a desire for honor and glory? Or to be loved and acknowledged by... You do not wield your sword for yourself, but to protect those you serve. Do you still not understand? Even after seeing the treasure...
You're right. I am a
I wouldn't be so quick to...
I know.
Good. Then, come with me. And help me see the script through to the end.
Huh? See the script?
Never finished it.
No, I mean, I wrote the script with the sole purpose of luring...
Then we'll just have to keep writing it.
You mean the Devorator?
Is that really so hard? You've already written most of it. Surely you can write an end.
You aren't afraid your party will fall into...
I know what my friends are capable of. And they're all...
Then, are you going to tell...
I don't intend to spoil the fun. Sometimes...
They're back!
That took a while.
Ahem! My
Tone, it's...
After crossing swords with you and witnessing your
Oh, do I...
I confess, I was brainwashed by the evil...
That little... Wait,
That's right. He's adept at manipulating the hearts and minds...
and how are you...
To be perfectly honest, I only came to my senses. The treasure was...
The names of all the Marchose hunters from...
Wait, you...
Of course. Don't underestimate a veteran...
We just finished reading through the content of the stone tablet.
That tablet recorded the lives of some fascinating people. She inherited the responsibilities of the Golden Hunter and passed judgment on many people. But in private...
So, she was just like you.
Oh, you really think so?
Well, when you put it that way, I suppose working as an executioner, he supposedly used a countless number of tricks.
Their lives were all so exciting. You could write so many cool books about their accomplishments. How could they have...
Because they chose to be. To hunt monsters that only appear in the shadows.
Then this stone tablet must...
That's right. Few Marshose hunters ever... The only time they spoke of their accomplishments would be at night, when they get...
So, this tablet was created not so that the hunters would be remembered.
No wonder this place was so well hidden.
You regard the stone tablet in solemn silence. The tablet proves that, although a hunter walks a shrouded path, it is not. Their legacies shall continue to be passed down from...
Father, you once told me that I should seek...
His eyes are sincere.
I implore you, everyone. Please give me a chance to make...
Well, sounds good to me too.
I have no objections, but Mr. Florian...
Huh? He's...
What if... The, GM,
At first glance, these blades have slain countless monsters. Though it's been a long time.
So basically, take these with us, right?
I'll take this weapon, since it used to belong to Est.
Ah, good idea. I'll take Mr. Walter's bow then. From one archer magician to another.
Paimon's gonna pick a cool weapon too!
As you grip your weapons, you can almost feel the will of past hunters coursing through your beak.
Mr. Florian, do you know where to find the evil sorcerer?
I was able to see his surroundings when our minds were connected. I believe he's currently hiding out at the church in the kingdom. We must be extremely careful. He's spent so long living among monsters that he's now taken the form of one. He will not be easily...
Then why don't we explore some more and try to find some higher level gear?
Oh, No, we have to strike now. He was greatly weakened when I managed to break out of his control. If we let him rest, he might have time to escape.
I agree with Mr. Florian. We've got to act while we have the advantage. Don't forget, the people of the capital are counting on us.
Yeah, now that we've got a plan, there's no point in waiting. The longer this drags on, the worse it will be for everybody.
Yes, that's what's called... Yes,
Alright, you've
Mr. Florian, please, lead the way.
of course. Follow me.
He had to set up so many scenes today, and now he has to join in for this last part. I really don't envy his job.
Finally, you decide. As you walk away, you feel the gaze of the stone tablet at your back, as if all the hunters of the past are wishing you success in the battle ahead, and await...
Right now, I wish I was sitting at the top of a tree, looking out over a meadow, cider in hand.
Finally, you arrive at the church floor. As you approach, an ominous aura.
How strange.
Now, it is time for the final battle.
Let's go!
Florian, wait.
What's wrong?
I think you should wait outside. You've already been corrupted by the Devorator once. It could easily re-enter your mind and take control of your body. I don't think it's a good idea for you to be this close. If it corrupts you again, it's possible you might take on a new form entirely.
That's exactly why I have to go. Yes,
That's too risky. If things get out of hand, I might...
I understand. But if I do, the Devorator will have a hard time passing up a chance. You're not like me, Miss Clorand. You're a just and powerful Marashose hunter. Consider it a duel to restore my honor.
I understand. Then, as a champion duelist, I hereby accept your request for a duel, and extend to you my most sincere regards.
Thank you.
The battle is now upon us. Let the Devorator once again tremble under the blade of the Marashose hunters.
Huh?
So lifelike. Why is nothing working?
This foe is not invincible. You hold the treasure, the power to defeat it, in your own two hands.
The treasure? You mean...
The names! It's the Marashose hunters' names!
How are we supposed to...
You forget, Paimon? There's still one skill we saved until the very end.
Hunters fight not for fame, but to aid the people whenever they are summoned.
Walter the Marashose Hunter, master of 1,000 tricks, executioner of the Phantom Hunters, I call for aid!
Est, the Marashose Hunter, inheritor of Cassiodor's will, judge of the Shadow Hunters. Answer my call!
Petronia, protector of justice and order. The hunter I respect the most. Thank you for saving my friend, the best one I'll ever know. Please, lend us your strength!
We have come to answer your summons. And so, the monsters were eradicated. Peace soon returned to the capital. Some remembered the names of the heroes who saved their kingdom, but others simply continued their lives none the wiser. Such is the story of the Marashosei Hunt. They will always protect the city. Yes, you.
It's a pretty solid story overall. I thought it was just an ordinary adventure at first. That final battle especially. All the effect.
Oh, right.
Ah, that's a really good point.
Yeah, mine nearly scared the daylights out of me when it started. Oh, we should probably give these props back, right?
Did you have a good time?
Of course. Let me know if enough.
Sure. Nope.
Then I'll head back for now. I think once Mr. Florian is awake, please
You're right.
Well, see you all.
Okay, so
I think it should be.
what
That time in the cave when you told us to close our.
I was dying of curiosity the entire time. I mean,
Guess none of us wanted to be the one to break the illusion.
What are you all talking about?
oh wait, don't tell me Paimon never.
Bit.
You're saying every...
It's probably more accurate to say this was never.
What?
So loud.
Hey, you! Get up right now and explain yourself!
No.
Did Paimon just hear that right? It's not nice to lie to people, but...
Yeah, it was like watching a magician improvise a spectacular magic trick after forgetting an.
If Paimon knew something was wrong with that vault, she would have floated straight in the opposite direction!
Everything was under control.
As if you've ever described a situation as being out of.
Guess I'm just used to it.
You must run into a lot of unexpected
As for you,
I know there's no excuse for what I did.
I would say you've already.
What?
You may have been blinded by fame and fortune in the beginning, but your action. You'll be far more used to the city above ground than below.
But
Of course, you'll still need to take the keys and pay a personal visit to the 200.
yeah,
As far as I'm concerned, though.
then I'll do. Thank you so much, everyone. Until we meet.
Speaking of Marashosei hunters, what should we do?
Leave it be.
Are you sure? We could show it to people, make...
No. Every name on. I am no exception. My identity as a Marashosei hunter is not.
That's certainly very different from the path of a
Wait! Paimon just remembered something. If there were no
That's because the Marashosei hunters of ages past would often imbue their weapons with special enchantment.
Oh, so that's why they had an.
Well, I'm sure
Oh?
This particular devorator probably hailed from the same. The names you recited all belonged to the bravest hunters. Countless monsters fell to their blades.
So the names held the power all along?
Navia. Every.
Huh? Oh,
I really appreciated those words.
all right. Don't get all sentiment. Anyway, let's not talk about that anymore. I'm going to.
She ran off!
I should probably head back as well. This story was truly incredible.
Traveler. Should your name and deeds be forgotten?
I suppose the significance would be the journey itself and the world we helped create.
A great answer. I'll remember it. Me, the Marashosei hunter, says nothing. Perhaps her answer lies in her silence. An